Today we are going to talk about several things. One, how to make your videos contagious. Two, we're going to talk about what's happening inside the brain that makes things go viral. And then third, we're also going to talk about a lot of new information that's come out for you guys who are gamers to really help you with your content here, and a lot of other things actually. So that's all coming up. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and it's Tuesday. Time to look at some online video news from last week and talk about the implications it has for those of us who are creators here in this space. And I'm a little bit of a different setup talking about my space. My basement flooded last week, and so you don't see my basement now because it is a mess and it is sopping and it is getting stinky too. So in the meantime, let's talk about some of this research that's been done for you guys who are gamers here on YouTube. Google did a lot of research just kind of looking at all the trends from online video gameplay and promos and demos and everything here, and they have come up with a lot of good data that I think is going to be really helpful for you guys. The link to this whole thing is in the description text below if you are a gamer on YouTube and read the entire report. A couple quick highlights for you guys though is that on the weekend seems to be the best time for video game photos to perform on YouTube. They see about an 18% increase in views over the weekend, and the summer seems to be like a really good time for a lot of views to be driven to video game content here as well, which kind of makes sense to me, right? Like a lot of the guys and people who are normally gamers during the school year are preoccupied, hopefully, with school. But it's also interesting that 32% of those views take place between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. here in the US. So if you have a gaming channel here on YouTube, posting around 4 or 5 p.m.-ish might be like the perfect time for you to publish your content. If you guys want to see more in this whole report, again, the link is in the description text below. Go check it out. The psychology department at UCLA did a massive research study to find out what's happening in people's brains when they're viewing content that makes things go viral. The report is called Creating Buzz, the Neural Correlates of Effective Message Propagation. And to save you guys a lot of time, basically what people are thinking whenever they're viewing content is this valuable for me? But also they're thinking, is this valuable for someone else I know? Is this worth sharing? In fact, the research shows that from someone's very first encounter with a piece of content, whether it's a video or an image or a post, or whatever it might be, their brains immediately are thinking, is this valuable for someone else that I know? It's almost like our brains are wired to share things. Matthew Lieberman, who is the senior author of this report, said this: "We always seem to be on the lookout for who else will find this helpful, amusing, or interesting, and our brain data is showing evidence of that. At the first encounter with information, people are already using the brain network involved in thinking about how this can be interesting to other people. We're wired to want to share information with other people. I think that is a profound statement about the social nature of our minds." For us as creators, I think this is encouraging, right? That people's natural tendency is to share content. But what if people aren't sharing your content? Like, for example, this type of content here, video creators, isn't really highly shareable by nature. Probably because a lot of people feel like, hey, this is valuable information, Tim, but just not really to my network or my sphere of influence because they're not really YouTubers or really involved in online video in general. And so you watch this video because it's valuable for you, but probably not to like everyone who follows you. And that's just how it is for some of our content. But for others of you, if you think that you have type of content that has a broad appeal and should be getting a lot of shares and isn't, thing that I would think that you should be thinking through is, from the perspective of your viewers, what would make this content valuable to them enough for them to say, this is also valuable for my sphere of influence and for my followers. I'm going to tell my friends about this. And we intentionally craft content that hopefully is shareable, and not just because it offers tremendous value, but that it's also hopefully valuable for the people's friends who are watching your content as well. If you want to read the whole thing, the link is in the description text below. You can check out the whole report and hopefully that'll help you out. So we all know that trying to make your videos go viral is a very almost impossible task to do, totally unpredictable, and a lot of us know, you know what, don't shoot for viral, just shoot for the slow and steady approach to building your audience and your subscribers over time, and that in the long run is a much more sustainable way to grow your channel. And you are absolutely right, that is the only tried and true proven method of being successful here on YouTube. And Mark Olson, the director and editor of the Mental Floss YouTube channel, would agree with that, but kind of put a different spin on it and say you can't make your videos go viral, but you can make your videos contagious. He gives you 5 things that you should be doing that really makes your content contagious. And the first one is, he says you really need to treat your viewers' time with respect. He says on the Mental Floss channel, they try really hard to keep their videos under 8 minutes long because he knows that their viewers have many other things they could be doing with their time, and so he wants to give them what he thinks they should know, but don't take any longer than it's absolutely necessary to do that. Number 2, he says make a point in your video. Have something to say. Give them that aha moment, that light bulb moment, or enlighten them in some way. He says when that happens, people are more likely to share your content because, as we said earlier, if people have that kind of enlightenment moment, they want their friends to have that same experience too, and they will share that video with them. Number 3, and this is something that a lot of us already know, is that you have to upload your videos consistently to your YouTube channel. He says the third channel can't be like some of these daily vloggers out there who are posting multiple videos every day. They strive just to have their new video out every Wednesday morning. When you post your videos isn't as much the issue here as much as it is just being consistent and being predictable for your subscribers. Number 4, he says listen to the people who are commenting on your video. Yeah, you'll get the occasional troll who's just kind of saying meaningless stuff, and you can ignore those, but if a lot of people are kind of saying the same thing, especially if there's some of your regular commenters who usually are really supportive and they're all kind of agreeing about something, then maybe you should listen to what they have to say and fix it and make your next video better. For example, in my last video, I had some intro music happening in the beginning and some music also happening at the end, and a couple of you guys said, Tim, the music was one too loud, it was really lame music, you might want to cut that out. So, hence, no music this video. And number 5, he says that you also need to have a presence outside of YouTube for distributing your content as well, whether that be Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Google+, you know, whatever. Build your audiences in those places as well and continue to seed your content, because not everyone checks their YouTube subscriptions all the time, and even those who do sometimes just miss what you posted, so make sure you're seeding it in those places as well. The link to his full post is in the description text below, so go check that out if that's something you're interested in reading up on a little bit more. I want to point you guys to 3 quick links really fast here. One is an interview I did with Piano Shack over on his channel. He wanted to talk with me about, Tim, how do we handle discouragement on YouTube when our channels just aren't growing as fast as we would like them to, and we're not getting the views that we're hoping for? How do you handle that discouragement? What do you do about that? If you want to watch that interview, it's about 18 minutes long, I think, over on his channel. I'll link up to that in the description text below. You can go check that out. Also, as we talked about last week, YouTube has their new YouTube Pro series that came out, and the first 4 episodes of that are now available on their channel. I watched them, and I'm bringing this up again because I think they are valuable, and I just want to remind you guys, in case you didn't see last week's news video, that I think that they are really kind of quality. They're talking about how do you work with advertisers, how do you reach out to advertisers when they come to you, how do you know how much to charge them, brand integration deals, all that kind of stuff. So if working with advertisers and making money from that revenue source is something that you're interested in, I highly recommend that you watch these videos. And number 3, YouTube made an update where if you right click on a video on YouTube, it'll give you now what's called Stats for Nerds, and it will let you see all sorts of crazy information about that video that most of us probably don't care about, including bitrate and frame rate and audio stuff and all that type of thing. So if you really want to know the nitty-gritty details of maybe why does this video look so fantastic and my videos look really crummy, you know, so you can maybe compare some of the data of your videos that you're using to encode your stuff versus what maybe that really good video looks like on YouTube. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below about what do you think makes videos contagious? Not necessarily viral, but contagious slowly over time. What elements do you think need to be in video content to really make that happen? Guys, share your expertise. I love hearing from you. If this is your first time hanging out with us, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every Tuesday, we talk about online video news and what it means for us as video creators, just like you saw here today. On Wednesdays, we give you guys some YouTube tips, ideas, and advice and suggestions to just really help your content really perform the best as it can here. On Wednesdays, we give you guys some YouTube tips and advice and suggestions and ideas just to really help your content perform the best that it can here. And then on Thursdays, we do some YouTube Q&A. This Thursday, we're going to talk about what is a good audience retention rate and how do you know if you're kind of above average or below average or where you kind of fall on that spectrum and what can you do to maybe increase it. We'll talk about that on Thursday. So until then, subscribe and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.